Hey guys, so the Sangria competition is coming to an end in 3 hours, just over 3 hours. So I thought let's do a breakdown of my build, yeah. So I've got 10 skins, I've got the legendary grease uh, wheels for the iron mines and a epic gusty card that gives us the buff on the windmills. Forklifts, I've got one, and the loggers 14 and tractors 12. So in this build, I do between 68 and 72 um, Sangria per hour. That's all depending on how much I do manually. And by that I mean, if I let it go overnight, I tend to run out of wood on occasions and then it bounces back. And that just brings the production down a little bit. Whereas if I make sure that my storage is full of wood the whole time, it seems like it keeps it above 70. So if we look at it, so what I do, I've got my two lumber mills here, trying to keep them, this is what I need to do manually for that. But if I don't do that, then it's between 68 and 70 per hour Sangria. Okay, so I've got one nuclear plant. You don't need a nuclear plant, but uh, I had three normal power plants, but then I had to put the one there instead of the silica mine or sand mine. Then I had three power plants, but like it's set up now, I just need the one power plant or nuclear and a normal power plant. I use the normal one to generate some uh, energy if I need some. But doing this, I was able to get one more extra space for a extra tractor. So power plants, I've got two iron mines and two chromium and two limestone. Now I overproduce iron, but one mine is too little. So every now and then, if I see I need some more chromium or limestone, I just switch it over for a couple of minutes or so. Because sorry about that, I do about 103 iron, which is way overproducing for a 70 an hour bolt. Okay, sand mines, I've got three, which produces about 286 silica, which is more than we need. So I sell every now and then. I've got three glass factories, so they produce about 70 bottles an hour. Once again, if I manipulate that by turning off or switching one iron mine to one of the other two, that goes up a little bit as well. So keep that in mind. I've got 10 windmills, which produces 135 sugar. Now this is the biggest obstacle in this build at the moment, producing enough sugar. This is what caps me just below 70 on the long run if I don't intervene. Otherwise, I've got to add another sugar field and maybe give that time to work through. But leaving that on too long, then sugar cane gets too much then, and then it clogs up my storage. So to handle all that, I've got the one silo and one grape storage. Now the grape storage is an NFT. You don't need to have the grape storage. I just like that to have a little bit grape to go where I want it to go for sure. But having two silos will do the same job. And it won't make that much of a difference in this case. Right, then I've also got 2 lumber yards for lumber, and I've got 2 for oak. If you look at them here, this is the oak one. If I switch this to lumber, it way overproduces lumber too fast. So to try and curve that, these two are supposed to be oak. So I made one of them lumber and that one I make oak. That gives them a little bit of a distance to walk, which in turn slows down lumber production a little bit, so I don't use up all my wood. Because you have to have wood for your vines to actually grow. 2 warehouses. I've got 2 warehouses around about there. They're normally quite fine. I've got a small water tower, the 3 passive directly around that, and then 7 water facilities, but I think it's overkill because 2 of them is off most of the time. I've set them to sleep, otherwise they way overproduce water. But yeah, maybe if I can have my sugar production more constant higher, then it might help with that. I'm not quite sure. Then for Sangria wineries, for Sangria, they produces about 68 to 70 if I leave it for themselves. If I intervene and I do some manual adjusting every now and then, I can get that up to about 72, maybe even 73. But as you know, it's not about manually adjusting the whole day. So, and then Cabernet, 7 wineries for that, which produces just about 1 more than the Sangria. In this case, 69 to 73, more or less, depending on how much manually I intervene. 3 strawberry fields, which is a little bit overproducing, but 2 I feel is just too little. And then sugarcane fields, I've got that wrong. Sugarcane fields is actually 6, not 3, sorry about that. And then oak tree farms, I've got 10. Sometimes I do change one of them over to wood if I don't have wood coming in fast enough. Sorry about that, dog. And then I've got 25 tree farms and 43 carbonate vines. So that is a breakdown of my build, more or less. I'm not sure what I could have changed. The biggest problem I had is I couldn't find a decent spot when he logged in. We had all these numbnuts with a mountain icons, so I at one stage actually took a spot thinking it's a mountain, and it ended up being a player with a icon looking like a mountain. So luckily I spotted that within a minute or so, but still it messes me around, and now my delivery times is quite hectic and takes a lot of gas. So there was twice that I ran out of gas overnight. When I got back, I had to get in there and help the system or the layout out a little bit there to prioritize what to sell first. That is the basics of the build. If you guys got any suggestions for future builds, let me know, and like and subscribe.